Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. I am Detroit Lenny. This is Doc Sports. This is Doc's Daily Show. You're on Doc Sports YouTube channel. That's Robert Faringo. He's going to join me today. It's just us, Robert. It's just us. Everybody else is,
we got to carry the team, man.
Somebody's got to do it.
Always. Yeah.
I mean, somebody's got to do it for crimity's sake. That's what my grandmother would yell. For Jiminy Crimity's sake, I don't know why. I don't know, but what? Yeah. College football. We had it last night. We had some good games last night. I thought I got a couple games I was pacing in. But your first initial thoughts on college football. We'll talk about that real quick. Let me get some housekeeping situations out of the way.
Sure.
Let everybody file in. Usually take a few minutes. I don't know why everybody's got like a Thursday night hangover or something, but
I am definitely today.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I'm moving slow. I just got into my first coffee, so I got 2 more to go before I get right. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, drop in the comment section what you're into. Today's the day to ask questions about the website. I actually had a thought last night that I want to talk to you about before, but whatever. I'll mention. We didn't do a video with like a tutorial on the website, like
Sure.
you walking people through the big play alert, where to find stuff. I thought that was a great idea. I actually made a note on my phone of it. That's how great of an idea I thought it was. But check out the website, docsports.com. You can get a free $60 account over there. If you're brand new and you've never been over to the website, this is where you try things out. Free $60 account. You can click on the tab, sign up. All you got to do is create an email address, and you get a free. You create a what am I looking for? Username, and then you get your free $60 account. Use that on Robert's free picks or premium plays. You can use that on any other handicappers premium plays. Put that $60 towards a package, day package, season package. You do you, Pikachu. Don't forget about YouTube Premium. The link is also in the description of the video. Level 1 starts at $4.99, goes all the way up to $49.99 with the third level. If you get the third level, it includes the previous levels. So it's kind of like that. Everything's explained in the video. I'm out of breath, so that's all you're going to get out of that. Robert, your initial thoughts last night. Any first thing you were surprised with and not surprised?
Well, I was happy that I won my 5-unit play yesterday. It actually technically goes on last week's cards. That wrapped up a third straight winning week. My technically from last week was on South Florida. I had a 5-unit play on South Florida over Boise State. They won that game outright. Kind of kicked myself a little bit for not dropping a little money line action on that. But honestly, I want to say yesterday, everything went kind of the way I thought. You and I had talked yesterday. We thought Rutgers was going to hammer Ohio. They did not. That was a little bit surprising that their defense was so bad. They only won by 3 points as a 15.5-point favorite. But that East Carolina NC State game, I thought it was going to be close. Then NC State got up 17-0. I was like, oh boy, they are mad. But Carolina just kept clawing back. That stayed a game. They easily covered the spread there. Cincinnati almost pulled the upset over Nebraska. We had a feeling that was going to be a close game, and I was able to win my play on that as well. I was a little surprised that the big disappointment was Wisconsin. Wisconsin stinks. They're terrible. I've said it here on the show. I'm just going to say it again. Luke Fickell is not going to survive the year.
That's fair.
He will not be the head coach at Wisconsin on Christmas Day. It's not going to happen. They barely put away Miami of Ohio. And this is Miami of Ohio has an excellent coach, but they don't have a very good team. They only brought back 6 starters from their team last year. And it was 10-0 going into the fourth quarter. I know Vernon Croy had a 7-unit play on Wisconsin. They won. I mean, you pitch a shutout and you don't cover the spread. It's kind of hard to do in college football. But
that's rough.
Yeah, no, they were bad
to swallow.
But other than that, again, everything went kind of the way that I thought it would be. Houston, I ended up scoring with Houston minus 22.5 over Stephen F. Austin. They won 27-0. See, that's how you do it, Wisconsin. That's how you pitch a shutout and cover. Little surprised by, I know this game was not on people's radar, but Oklahoma State is a team that I'm very interested in right? Mike Gundy has only had 2 losing seasons in his entire coaching career at Oklahoma State. One was his very first year, like 20-something years ago, and last year was the other one. So he completely cleaned house. He's one of those teams that brought in like 50 new transfer, entirely new team. Guy's got a great track record of success, right? So I'm kind of intrigued by Oklahoma State because nobody knows what they're going to be. Nobody knows if they're any good. Nobody knows how to get them. So when I see those situations, a lot of people are like, stay away, stay away. I'm like, ooh, value. Okay. Nobody knows what to make of this team. Are we betting for them? So they played UT Martin, a team with a good defense in FCS. That line opened at like 19.5, 20.5. This was on Monday. Okay. On Wednesday, that line shot up from 20.5 to 27.5, which is weird. That's an enormous movement for any game, but like a FBS versus FCS game, like that was a big movement. So that got me off of that game. And I'm glad because they only ended up winning by 20. They won 27-7. So not a superb showing for that team, but still one to watch.
That's fair. Abe's got a question here in the chat about Wake Forest. First half over 7.5 at plus 102. Minus 7.5 is what you're talking about, or team total? Is that team total that low?
Team total 7.5. Let me pull against Kennesaw State. So that can't be right. If that's what you're getting, if you're getting first half over 7.5 points,
I got team total at 34.5. It's just got to be team total first half over 17.5. Okay, so I think it's supposed to be 17.5.
He got it as a line error. Okay, then great. Then that's a great.
Yeah, bet. Somebody forgot the one because like FanDuel DraftKings has 17.5 team total for Wake Forest. So yeah, that's nuts. Good job. Hey, shop your lines. You got to follow that stuff.
Yeah, the books
Canada stuff though, Abe. Abe's in Canada. Abe messaged me on Twitter random. That's some Canadian stuff. Is that
right? Right. The exchange rate here in America.
And the exchange rate at 17.5. Yeah.
Right.
So,
were there any games that weren't marquee games that you were interested in? Just personally, I mean, a lot of people have talked a lot about Texas, Ohio State, and Miami, Notre Dame. What about some of the other games on the card, some of the more random games? Was there anything that jumped out at you or anything that you were intrigued by or can't wait to see or to bet?
Well, yesterday I would have said Bowling Green. That was one of my favorite plays of Bowling Green. I liked Bowling Green first half minus like 10.5. I think it was something like that. I think they covered, but it wasn't by much. I think they were up 17-0 at half. It was more of Lafayette just sucked. It's kind of that route. But this Saturday, I'm really, I'm a MAC guy, so I'm really looking to see some action. Like I like tonight, I kind of what's today? Friday. I kind of want to see I kind of want to throw some money on Illinois against Western Illinois and lay 40 bajillion points or whatever it is, 40 something. I think it's up there now.
47.5.
47.5. I kind of wanted to get to 50 just so I have a $20 play on it, just to F around and find out on a Friday.
Too rich for my blood.
Yeah, I'm just saying, these UNLV game and Sam Houston, I want to watch that tonight because I saw UNLV play last week and they did not look good.
Right.
They should look good against Sam Houston, but Sam Houston kind of looked good last week for a minute. For 3 quarters of football, Sam Houston looked good.
I got to give them credit, and I got to give Jacksonville State credit. That was one I was wrong on yesterday. I had Central Florida. I thought Scott Frost would want to come out and make a statement that he's back. And Jacksonville State is just like Sam Houston State, where they lost everybody from last year's team. I mean, everybody. These teams lost like 50-plus players from last year's team. But Sam Houston, to your point, they didn't cover last week, but they hung around with Western Kentucky. They had the lead late in that game, so kind of a misleading final. They were a team I was looking to bet hard against because of all the newness. And I'm with you. UNLV did not look good last week. I think Sam Houston is worth taking some points with. at home. I feel like UNLV has more to prove here, but Jacksonville State was another team that I was just like blind, bet against it. New coach, new players. Jacksonville State, their coach, Charlie Kelly is his name. He has never been a head coach at the college level. He was only a head coach one time for 1 year, and that was back in 1995 in high school. He was a high school coach for 1 year, and he's their head coach. So I'm like, I am 100%
alrighty then
betting against these guys. Right. They play pretty well. So, maybe that's something that I'm going to be watching for this week is those teams. Marshall is another one. These teams that had tremendous turnover. Okay. Everybody has turnover that they're dealing with. Everybody loses players, gets players like that. I'm talking about these teams with like exceptional turnover, 40, 50, 60 new players. Maybe the market is wrong on these teams. Maybe the market is maybe the numbers are a little inflated on them. Sam Houston State, Jacksonville State, Marshall, North Carolina, some of those teams that we're looking at, we'll see how they play. So I don't know.
That's fair. I mean, some games like, New Mexico, Michigan, I can't stand Michigan so much that I might be on New Mexico. That's another one. Bronco
kind
of falls into that lane.
New coach, like 50 new players. Are they going to be better than people think? I used a 1-unit play on Michigan in that game. I just feel like with Underwood getting the start, they're really going to want to get him off on the right foot.
They got to build confidence with
they got to build confidence. And again, going into this week, I'm betting against all of those teams with that tremendous amount of turnover. So New Mexico was just like a blind fade. But like I said, after watching Sam Houston, after watching Jacksonville State, I'm not feeling as good about my theory going into this week of betting against all those teams. So we'll see.
Like I'll be watching Ball State, Purdue. And everybody else will be watching Texas, Ohio State. You know what I mean? Because I want Ball State to kick the shit out of Purdue because they're in the Big Ten and it's a MAC. It's just, you know what I mean?
Barry Odom's first game, former UNLV coach, is now at Purdue. Another one of those teams where with new coach and like 50 plus new players. So I know Ball State is bad. I know they're like a bottom feeder, but I was still surprised to see Purdue as that big of a favorite. They were the worst Power 4 team in the country last year, and they turned everything over. So 17.5 still feels a little thick in that one. So that one was never on.
I also, Toledo, Kentucky was on my radar, and I'm going to keep plugging this show because it's new and it just came out Monday. But that opening line report that Robert did, you need to give that some love, and I'm going to shamelessly plug that because that's what I can do. It's my show, not yours, people. And you should watch it because there's good information. The Toledo-Kentucky game, sure, it was on my radar because I'm a MAC guy. So Toledo, you talked about bottom feeders in the MAC. Toledo is not a bottom feeder in the MAC. It is Toledo's conference in a nutshell. Toledo-Kentucky this weekend, I find it intriguing. You sparked more intrigueness. I don't think that's a word, but Detroit public schools, but you know what I mean? I kind of like that.
Okay. Definite upset alert here. Okay. Yeah. Toledo is legit. Last year they beat Pitt in their bowl game. Yeah. They went to Mississippi State, and they didn't just beat Mississippi State. They blew them out. I think it was like 42-13 as an 11.5 point underdog in that game. The year before that in their opener, they went to Illinois in Champaign, and they lost that game 30-28. So Toledo is legit, and they're more than capable of sniping mid-tier and bad power conference teams, okay? However, they brought back their quarterback, their top running back, their top receiver, veteran team. So these guys are ready. These guys are going to come to play. I think Kentucky's the worst team in the SEC. They're starting Zach Calzada, who's a seventh-year guy. This is his third different starting gig. Like, he stinks. He's not a good quarterback, okay? Here's the thing that I'm a little concerned about. All summer, that number has been coming down. It opened with Toledo like plus 11.5, something like that. It got down this week to like 7.5. When I did that video on the opening line report, I want to say it was like 7.5, 8 or something like that. Yesterday, the early Thursday, that line lurched back up to 10, meaning somebody made a big move on Kentucky. Now, it's not enough to completely scare me away from a position on Toledo getting those points, but that's why I left it off my card yesterday.
Fair.
I used it as a teaser. I teased it up to 17.
I was just going to say that.
Yep, we got to 10. I was like, boom, give me those 7 extra points. I love Toledo as like teaser juice for you to throw in a few different teasers. I think there's tremendous value. Alabama is another one that I think is going to make for a good teaser tomorrow. That down to 7 and that game. But that's why I didn't use a straight play on Toledo. That late line movement where I feel like a lot of public bettors will be like, why? You should love it. You're getting even more value now. No, it was such a severe movement that it made me step back and be like, okay, somebody knows something I don't.
Yeah, something's going on. Yeah.
So, but that's an important thing. Like people that bet on sports, they all think, well, I know sports, so I can bet on them. Like I follow this stuff. I know. Like being a good bettor isn't just knowing a lot about sports, about the teams and the players and the coaches. It's being able to understand line movements, why a line is moving, when a line is moving, when that movement is significant and when it's smoke screen. Like that is such an important and integral part of being a good bettor is something like that. Maybe, Toledo, maybe they went outright. I kicked myself. I'm like, oh, I knew it. I shouldn't have let that scare me away. But sometimes the smart play when there's a line movement that you kind of don't understand is to just move on to another game.
I'll probably have like a $20 bill on Toledo money line just because I don't want to, because I'll remember South Florida last night.
Yep.
That's what I will remember. I'll be honest, like, because I'll remember that. And all night I'll watch that South Florida game and I'm going, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Damn it, Leonard, you should have put the money line. You should have went after it. And then but I did. And that's okay. Sometimes you kick yourself for the bet you didn't make. But, I'd rather kick myself for the bet I didn't make than the bet I did make and then go back and go, what were you thinking? I hate
money line play on them has got to have a healthy little payout too.
It's
I mean, plus 280, plus 290, somewhere like this. You're getting 3-1 on your money.
I can get 285 right now at Caesars where I'm at.
There you go. You're getting almost 3-1. And like I said, they beat 2 Power 4 teams last year. So
they for sure get a teaser. They for sure make a teaser card for me.
Couple other money lines to look at tonight. I think I might put some money on Baylor money line and Colorado money line. I just don't think both road favorites win tonight. I think it's a little odd that Auburn is favored in that game at all. Look, if they get better quarterback play from Jackson Arnold, he was the guy who was at Oklahoma 2 years, was objectively bad. He was not good at quarterbacking. Okay. Highly touted recruit, but he was bad at Oklahoma. He's getting a fresh start at Auburn. Now, Auburn, they were terribly unlucky and also inept last year. And a lot of it was turnovers from the quarterback play. So they're one of those teams that if they can just get like baseline competence out of Arnold, they have the pieces around them. They have a great defense, a good running game. They have good skill position players. Like Auburn, should be kind of an 8-win team if they can get some good quarterback play. Now, that being said, they are going on the road to Waco to take on a very good quarterback in Sawyer Robertson and a very veteran defense in Baylor. Like Baylor is not some pushover team. They're not like a Big 12 bottom feeder. Like they're one of 6 or 7 teams that realistically could win that conference with what they have. So again, little surprised that Auburn has been such a solid favorite. That line hasn't moved all summer. The Georgia Tech line has actually moved up. I'm seeing like 4.5 there. Now I like Georgia Tech a lot, but going to Colorado, going to altitude, true road game, Dion is going to have the stands packed. That those guys are going to be hyped up. Is Colorado any good this year? I have my doubts, but still a tough place to go in and be expected to win as a favorite for Georgia Tech. So I don't think both of those. I think one of those two gets upset tonight.
That's fair. I like the under in that Baylor Auburn game. I'm on the under 57.5, 58.5, somewhere around there. Yeah, I like that. That was about the only thing I went on as far as that game. And the Colorado Georgia Tech, Raphael's got a free pick video out on that, and that's the only play I have on it. And I'm not going to tell you what it is because you got to go watch the video and hit a like button. I'm going to tell you that's all I got on it. But I'm intrigued by this UNLV Sam Houston game. We mentioned that and where I go, and then we didn't mention Central Michigan and San Jose State yet. And I don't know if you have a play or anything on this. But my backstory here was I wanted to play for Eastern Michigan as a kid coming out of high school. And I didn't. And Central Michigan offered me a partial football scholarship. Partial. Like, I was not good. Okay. Like, hey, kid, we'll pay for like $300 worth of stuff. Like, it wasn't a lot. And I didn't go because I was holding out to be a stud at Eastern Michigan. Plus my friends went there. So, but whatever. So I'm still stuck. I'm a Chippewa at heart. But these Central Michigan Chippewas they're not a good team. You talk about bottom feeders of the MAC. They're not a great team. I'm not saying San Jose State, I should say. The Mountain West and the MAC are like East Coast, West Coast, same thing. They're like the same team. They're the same conference. I feel like they're the same kind of teams. They're just the Spider-Man meme pointing at each other.
Style-wise, I would say, but talent-wise, the Mountain West is definitely better. And San Jose State, this is kind of an interesting game. This is one of those games I didn't have a play. I never even really considered it, but I'm very interested to see how it goes because San Jose State was exactly what I was talking about with those earlier teams last year. They were a team that like got completely wiped out. I'm going to butcher his name, Niumatalolo, who used to coach at Navy, took over that team. When he was at Navy, obviously he was an option guy. So I was like, okay, he's going to come. He's going to bring the option to San Jose State. He'll be successful long-term, but they won't be very good in the short term. They were good last year. They were really good last year. And coming into this season, they're probably the second best team in the conference. I think they're going to be nipping right at Boise State's heels in the Mountain West. It's kind of a down year for the Mountain West. So are they good enough? Are they going to carry over and build on what they did last year? And are they just going to whitewash a bad, like you mentioned, a bad Central Michigan team? Or are they going to let Central Michigan hang around? Maybe last year was a fluke. Maybe they take a step back in year two. So that's what I'm looking for on that game. But if you think that San Jose State is going to continue their upward trajectory, I would comfortably lay the 14 points and make Central Michigan.
I kind of would. And it also plays into me. Like, I get that, like, someone like Michigan traveling to USC. Okay. Same kind of like travel. But to be fair, Michigan travels differently than Central Michigan travels. Okay. So Central Michigan team and school and those kids are going to travel to San Jose State. That's not USC. And this ain't the U of M team. Okay. So going to be a little bit of travel play. And those kids ain't used to it. I'm just saying, I know they're professionals and college athletes, but it'll be different. And in San Jose right now, I'm telling you right now, it's hot. There's fires. There's smoke. It's bad.
Some of those kids are going to be like
weather, whatever. Yeah.
I
like San Jose State.
Game that we talked about yesterday, Lenny. I don't know if you'll be happy to hear this. I don't know if it's a jinx. I don't know. I did use Michigan State. I laid the points with Michigan State tonight. I think that they are going to be kind of sneaky good. I not sneaky good like they're going to compete or anything in the Big Ten. They're not. But for them, last year they were one of the worst teams. They were in the bottom tier of the Big Ten. This year, I think they're going to be able to fight their way into the middle tier of that conference. I think they are going to pull a couple of those upsets. And again, Western Michigan is one of those teams that just got gutted. And I still don't know about their coach. Like, he kind of dragged them to a bowl game last year against, they beat the really bad teams on their schedule, the Akrons and the Kent States and stuff like that. They lost to anybody that they made, but then he lost 75% of their production, something like that. So it's a rebuild at Western Michigan, and they're not the type of team. They're not like Toledo, where just every year they're turning it over every year with good teams and good guys. So Western Michigan, I don't think is going to be very good. Michigan State, I think, is a team that's off a lot of people's radar. And like I said, I'm a big Jonathan Smith fan. I liked what he did in Oregon State, man. Like, those teams were nasty. Like, punch you in the face and steal your wallet. Nasty.
Agreed.
And that's Michigan State style football, right? Like, I think he's a good fit, and I think he's going to get it built up there. And I think they're going to get a blowout tonight.
I hope you're right in every which way, shape, or form. To be honest, I was happy when they hired him. I really was, because I wanted that grit kind of feel to that team again. And I thought they got a little too cute and tried whatever. And I like this team. I think they will be better than that last year. Will they compete for anything? Nope. I'm just like looking at their schedule. It's Western Michigan, Boston College, Youngstown. Okay, there's 3-0. I'll give you that right out the gate. But then you got to go to USC. You got to go to Nebraska. You play UCLA. It gets nothing but rough after that. Like bad.
I mean, there's no easy schedules in the Big Ten, that's for sure. But like that UCLA game, I could see them stealing that game. They get Michigan at home. Minnesota is a team that they're capable of sniping. They got Maryland on there is a path here to 6 wins. I mean, Nebraska, they didn't look overwhelming yesterday. They probably should have lost that game. Like Nebraska is still not as good as everybody wants them to be. So that game isn't beyond them getting, So again, I see some wins on here. And while we're talking Big Ten, another game that I want to put on some people's radar is Old Dominion, Indiana. Okay. Indiana, obviously big favorite. Everybody remembers them from last year. They won 11 games. They crashed the playoff party. They were just a friggin' covering machine last year. I feel like everybody's still playing them like it was last year. Yes. Okay. I want to see Curt Cignetti's awesome. I mean, that guy won at James Madison. He did what he did at Indiana, which Indiana football's a joke. I mean, a complete and total joke. So to do what he did so quickly, that's not nothing, man. Like the guy, Curt Cignetti is great, but are they overpriced? The books are going to juice their numbers this year because all they did is cover the spread and everybody was on the bandwagon last year. Is everybody going to remember the good times, all the money they won on Indiana last year and jump on them this year? I think so. That's why I think that number is a little inflated. Old Dominion is not very good, but they hang around, man. They're 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games against power conference teams. And that's all just facing numbers like this. And you're Indiana, like you've been hearing the hype all off season, right? About how great last year was. And he's coming off talking about like, it's a little harder to get up for Old Dominion now when the last time you were on the field, you were in a playoff game against Notre Dame. Right? Like the expectations are higher. The hype is higher. Like now are you going to bring the same level of focus against these 3 like bottom feeders that they play in the non-conference? Last year it was easy to get up for those games because you're Indiana. You stink. You got something to prove, right? Now are they already looking past these 3
teams? Are they looking ahead? Right.
Yeah, right. Like looking ahead to these other teams. So I think there's a little bit of value on the underdog there. And it's just going to be interesting to see if Indiana comes out and just piss pounds them, 44-10 like it was last year, then it's like, okay,
all right, here we go.
Right. Like, let's get back on the bandwagon.
I will immediately tomorrow be betting Indiana next week.
Right. Exactly. Or like at what point, because it's going to happen. The pendulum's going to swing back the other way on Indiana. The books are going to catch up with them and start inflating their numbers too much. It's just a matter of when is that gonna happen. So
I like
Scott, he is not feeling like,
there's the poor teams.
Listen, not for nothing. They owned it last year. Old Dominion opened at South Carolina. That was a very good South Carolina team that beat some teams. I think they beat Alabama. Very good South Carolina team. They were 21-point underdogs in that game at South Carolina. They lost by 4 points, 23-19. Okay, they played Virginia Tech last year. They lost by 20, which you're like, oh, they got blown out. Okay, but that would still keep them within this number. The year before that, they only lost to Wake Forest, and that was a decent Wake Forest team. They only lost to Wake Forest by 3 points the year before that. They lost to Virginia Tech by 19 that year. So I agree with you. Old Dominion is not a good team. I'm not suggesting that Old Dominion is something that they're not. Oh, in 2022, in their opener, they actually beat Virginia Tech. Okay. But what I'm saying is they have shown over the last few years, this Old Dominion team, that they can play with kind of middling power 4 teams and not get like boat raced, not lose by 36 points or something like that. Now, Indiana did that to a lot of teams. They did that to some decent teams even last year. Are they going to do it to Old Dominion? My money is on Old Dominion. I want to make Indiana prove it. Okay. I want to get off be the first guy off the bandwagon with a team, not the last guy off the bandwagon.
Right.
And we'll see if I'm right or if I'm wrong.
That's fair. Anything baseball related you like before we also have to, I guess we should talk. We're out of time. So we talk football.
I could do this all day. In fact, I will do this all day. In 30 minutes, what are the odds? Me and Rafael Esparza are going to continue this exact conversation. We're going to talk a little more about numbers, talk a little bit about the Micah Parsons deal and the impact that has had on the market. We touched on it very briefly last night on the Thursday football release show, which is an hour-long live show when our picks get released every Thursday at 6:00. He was wrong, and I was right about what was going to happen to the market, to the number on the Cowboys game. And so I can't wait to rub that in his face. But baseball, I would be remiss if I did not mention that we have not one but 2 game of the years tonight, which is odd. That you would get 2 of them. And they're from 2 people that don't like pump out big plays. So this definitely made me perk up. One of them is Jason Sharp, who over the 5 years coming into this season, not having a great season this year, I'm not to say, but in the 5 years prior to this, he had won $23,000 for his $100 better. Okay, that's triple. He's tripled up his people over the last 5 years. So he's okay to have, a down couple months. He's got an 8-unit game of the year, and Strike Point Sports has an 8-unit game of the year. This is their first 8-unit play of the season. So that's what to look for in baseball. And by the way, use that free 60 account down in the description. You can get both of those game of the year plays for free. So that's how you take advantage of that. That's how you use that to your advantage. If you haven't already, the link is right there. Sign up and you can get both of those. I am going to be interested in the Detroit, Kansas City game for a variety of reasons, but the last play I took off my card was the Yankees on the run line. I think they're just good. Like they're hot. They're hot right now. They've won 5 straight. All of them have been by 4 runs or more. They're hitting the ball. Like they scored 10 runs again yesterday. Like let's just ride the Yankees momentum against a White Sox team that's bad. And that's just kind of playing out the string. I know the kid that's on the mound has been pretty good for them to this point, but Carlos Rodon has some good numbers in his career in that stadium. So I kind of like that. Yeah, Scotty's mentioned that Phillies money line and the over. They put up 19 runs yesterday. And Atlanta has been terrible for most of the season. So I'm okay with either one of those. I don't know if we're going to see 23 runs out of the 2 of them, but I did look at that over and didn't use it on my card. But yeah, Yankees run line would be my. I like Yankees run line. I also like the Cubs run line. I mean, I don't mean to pick on the White Sox and the Rockies, but it's worked all year for me. Sure. So
I mean, it is what it is,
Unfortunately, the Rockies have been playing better over the last month. I mean, they're back to their old tricks, but like they only lost by 1 last game, so they didn't cover you got to bet them on the run line. They're 1-6 in their last 7, so they're getting back to like normal Rockies baseball. But before that, they won 7 out of 9 games and just crushed me along.
Yeah, they crushed me for like a week.
Right,
it just ruined me. Yeah, everything I thought I was doing good in August, they fuck that.
I feel like Cubs fans are standing on the ledge right now. They've been standing on the ledge, I feel like, for the last 3 weeks. If they can't sweep the Rockies, it might be time to jump. Like,
I'm telling you right now, I think this is a good get-right series for them. This is a get-right spot. Yeah. I mean, Houston, the Rockies just played Houston on the road, just played Pittsburgh on the road. Yeah, they get home, they relax, whatever. And the Cubs are like Angels on the road, Giants on the road. Now they're in Colorado. They're like, all right, boys, this is where we fix the ship. And I like them that way, shape or form. But again, my baseball the last like week and a half has just been like with like it's like a old mob movie where I'm just getting the hell beat out of me by 6 guys with aluminum baseball bats. Shit I didn't do. For stuff my brother did. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I didn't even do it. He did it.
It's been like that for me for 2 months. I was having a fantastic season going into July, and it has been a nightmare over the last 2 months with that. So I'm with you. Also, if you want an underdog to look at this weekend for like a series price, look at Baltimore against San Francisco. I still don't trust the Giants on spec. So you're getting underdog value with a Baltimore team that I think is capable of winning 2 out of 3 there. And I don't know what the series price is on the Padres Twins. Anything less than like 220, is a must play. Like San Diego, you look at who San Diego's been playing lately. It's been like the Mariners, the Dodgers again. They've been playing good teams for the past month. They haven't played a bottom feeder team since like mid-July when they played the Marlins. This is the first bottom feeder they have. The Twins are bad. They're just playing out the string. San Diego is going to win that series. So anything I'd say minus 200, minus 220 or less, anything less than that, San Diego series price is something that I would look at as well.
I don't hate that. I also think the Athletics, on a side note before we leave, I think the Athletics give the Rangers a little bit of a fight here in this series. I kind of I don't want to say I'm on them. Like, I like the under tonight in today's game. I mean, I don't have a premium play on shit because I don't do that, but I'm just telling you right now, I got to play on that, on the under first 5 full game. I like both unders. I don't know if they can pull off the series, but
I mean, they're 10-3. They're 10-3 in their last.
They're playing better than
they swept the Tigers.
Yeah.
And Oakland is going to be like, there's some teams that are just rolling over down the stretch and can't wait for the season to get over. Oakland's not that. Like, Oakland is going to kind of embrace the spoiler role, I feel like, over the next month. Like, they have a weird series. Like, the Reds have to go out there. Like, that could be a place where the Reds just get jumped. They play the Red Sox. You know that everybody's going to be coming out. Texas, this rivalry series here, they get Houston. They play Kansas City the last week. They're another team that's kind of fighting for the playoffs. I think Oakland's going to be like a sneaky good spoiler over the next month.
100%. I do agree with that. I like the Athletics. I've got a whole conspiracy theory. They're going to start to be good right before they get to Vegas, so they can charge astronomical prices and just take everybody's money. And then in 4 years, they're going to be back to bottom feeders. And then,
was it 3 years? 3 years that they move? Is it 2 years or 3 years?
Yep.
Okay.
3 years. But when they get here,
it's not a conspiracy theory though. They have one of the youngest teams in baseball now. So in theory, if they hold on to that team and these kids develop kind of like Baltimore and they all blossom at the same time, they should be good by the time.
Can we get a playoff series in Sacramento? That's what I want.
Wow.
That's what I want.
Awesome. That'd be awesome. It'd be like a softball game, like a beer league softball.
Over 13.5.
Yes, right.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Don't forget, in about 20 minutes, check out What Are the Odds? Robert and Raphael live. They'll be talking more about college football, taking your questions, diving deep into some numbers there. And then later on tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern, myself and Raphael will be live with Betting Outside the Box. And we're going to talk about this Michael Parsons thing because it has affected my psyche now overnight. It has affected my Circa Survivor, which it should not have. It's affected everything in my life, my diet. It's probably affecting my marriage. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know. Good luck unless you're against us. We'll see you guys. Saturday, Doc's Daily, 8 a.m. No, 8 a.m. if you're on 11 a.m. Eastern time. 11 a.m. Eastern time. 8 a.m. if you're in Vegas. Good luck unless you're against us.